Hey guys, we are so happy for you. We cannot wait to meet little Mason.
Welcome to the world, little guy. Hope to see you soon. Love you guys.
Jinger Duggar, of 19 Kids and Counting fame, has reflected on her childhood in a big family of 18, recalling the astronomical food costs that her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle, had to bear. As Jeremy Wulo and Jinger delved into a scene from their early TLC show, 16 Children and Moving In, they brought attention to the challenges of parenting a large family. The astronomical bill for Jinger's family's grocery bill, $677 for 7 carts, included a case of butter, a plethora of frozen burritos, and 24 cans of milk. In spite of the obviously enormous load, Jinger says that going grocery shopping was normal for her family, demonstrating how much food they consumed despite having a huge brood. The Duggar family's magnificent Arkansas property, which extended over 97 acres, had plenty of room for their growing family and their food supplies. Anna Duggar's husband, Josh, is in legal problems, but Jim Bob made a big real estate investment for her by buying a $1 million Fayetteville mansion. When moving from their house in Los Angeles to Newhall, California, Jinger and Jeremy decided to go for a smaller place. Jinger Duggar, one of the stars of the famous Duggar family, recently made headlines with a revealing statement about the cost of feeding her family at home. Known for their large brood, conservative values, and public life on shows like 19 Kids and Counting and Counting On, the Duggars have always been the subject of both admiration and criticism. Now, Jinger, who has carved out her own path post-reality TV, is opening up about the more practical side of family life, particularly the financial burden that comes with feeding a household. In a recent interview, Jinger shared valuable insights into her family's approach to budgeting and meal planning, offering a glimpse into what it takes to feed her family of 4. While Jinger's family life alongside her husband, Jeremy Vulo, and their 2 young daughters is a far cry from the massive family she grew up in, the reality of grocery bills and meal preparation is still something that requires careful thought and consideration. Jinger Duggar's family life today. Jinger Duggar's life has shifted quite a bit since her days on television. Married to former soccer player Jeremy Vulo, Jinger and her family now live in Los Angeles, away from the tight-knit, family-centered world of the Duggar household in Arkansas. The couple, who tied the knot in 2016, has 2 daughters, Felicity and Evangeline, and they have embraced a more modern, independent lifestyle. They've made the decision to distance themselves from some of the more traditional and public elements of the Duggar family dynamic, choosing instead to focus on their own family and personal endeavors. Jinger and Jeremy have been vocal about their approach to parenting, their faith, and their lifestyle. Their move to California was a significant step in carving out their own path away from the Duggars' more conservative and publicized life. Jinger's openness about the practicalities of family life, including budgeting for food and other expenses, is a sign of her desire to live a more grounded and real-life experience with her family. The costs of feeding a family. One of the most relatable aspects of any household is the cost of feeding the family. As many parents know, groceries are one of the most consistent and substantial monthly expenses. For Jinger Duggar, who is now the head of a small family of 4, feeding her family means striking a balance between convenience, nutrition, and budget. In her recent interview, Jinger revealed that feeding her family at home requires careful planning and organization. One of the first insights Jinger shared was about the average weekly grocery bill for her family. While the cost varies depending on their meal plans and seasonal ingredients, she noted that she spends a considerable amount on weekly groceries. For many families, grocery bills can be one of the largest expenses after housing and transportation. With the rise in food prices over the past few years, Jinger's household is no exception to this reality. Jinger admitted that as much as she values home-cooked meals, it is a significant financial commitment. However, she pointed out that preparing meals at home rather than eating out saves them a considerable amount of money in the long run. Fast food and dining at restaurants may seem like a quick and easy option, but when you factor in the cost of dining out for a family of 4, it can quickly add up. By preparing meals at home, Jinger's been able to cut down on unnecessary expenses, and she encourages families to do the same when possible. Meal planning and budgeting. To keep their grocery bills in check, Jinger emphasized the importance of meal planning. Like many families, she makes a weekly meal plan to ensure that she buys only what she needs and minimizes waste. By planning ahead, Jinger can make sure that her family gets a variety of nutritious meals without overspending on ingredients that might go unused. A key strategy that Jinger shared is buying in bulk. For families with multiple mouths to feed, purchasing bulk items such as grains, pasta, and even fresh produce can be a cost-effective way to save money over time. Jinger explained that while the upfront cost of buying in bulk can seem intimidating, the savings over time are well worth it. Bulk buying helps reduce food waste, and it ensures that they have essential pantry staples on hand for meal preparation. Jinger also mentioned how meal prepping has become an integral part of their routine. With 2 young children and both parents juggling work and home responsibilities, having ready-to-go meals is a huge time saver. By prepping meals ahead of time, Jinger can ensure that her family always has something nutritious to eat, even on the busiest days. This practice not only helps save time, but also allows for better portion control and the ability to choose healthier ingredients for her family. The impact of food prices. The Duggar family's lifestyle has always been a subject of interest, with fans curious about how they manage their large household, both in terms of finances and logistics. Jinger's comments on food prices shed light on how inflation and rising grocery costs have affected even the most budget-conscious families. According to Jinger, food prices in Los Angeles are significantly higher compared to the rural areas she grew up in, which adds to the overall cost of feeding her family. With the price of fresh produce, dairy, and meat steadily increasing, it's no surprise that Jinger has had to adapt her shopping habits. She spoke about her efforts to prioritize healthier options without breaking the bank, choosing to buy in-season produce and making smarter choices when it comes to meat purchases. For Jinger, one of the most challenging aspects of meal planning has been balancing the desire to provide healthy, fresh meals with the reality of higher food prices. She shared that one of her strategies is to shop at local farmers markets, where she can often find fresh produce at a lower cost than traditional grocery stores. Supporting local businesses has been a win-win for Jinger, as it not only saves money, but also supports the local economy. Special considerations for feeding 2 young children. Feeding 2 young children, especially with dietary restrictions or preferences, can add another layer of complexity to the task of meal planning. Jinger explained that Felicity and Evangeline, like many children, have their own likes and dislikes when it comes to food. Jinger has to be creative with how she incorporates a variety of nutrients into their meals while catering to their preferences. She shared that one of her key approaches is to make meals that are both kid-friendly and nutritious. For example, she will often sneak in vegetables into dishes like smoothies, pasta sauces, or homemade soups. This allows her to make sure that her daughters are getting the vitamins and minerals they need without a battle at the dinner table. Additionally, Jinger spoke about the importance of teaching her children about healthy eating habits from a young age. By involving her daughters in meal preparation and making the process fun, she hopes to instill a love for good food that will last a lifetime. It's clear that Jinger takes her role as a mother seriously and is committed to providing the best for her family despite the challenges that come with feeding them. Conclusion: insights into a modern Duggar family life. Jinger Duggar's candid discussion about the costs of feeding her family and how she manages her household budget offers a glimpse into the practical side of her life today. While the Duggar family's public persona has often been shaped by their large size and conservative values, Jinger's transparency about budgeting, meal planning, and navigating food prices reflects a more relatable and down-to-earth approach to modern family life. Jinger's insights into the challenges of feeding a family in an ever-changing financial landscape are valuable for many parents. The cost of food, the importance of planning, and the need to prioritize nutrition are struggles shared by families everywhere. Her approach to budgeting, meal prepping, and making thoughtful food choices demonstrates the importance of being mindful of both health and finances.